Now for the news in detail. The LTTE is virtually confined to a single square kilometre. Defence spokesman Keheliya Rambukwella, addressing the media today, clarified that the terrorists have only 21 square kilometres along with the 20 square kilometre no-fire zone to hide.
I would say that out of the 21 square kilometres, 20 kilometres it was demarked as the no-war zone. So in effect, it is only 1 square kilometre where they are actively and where they have basically they are carrying out their activities fairly effectively. Of course, having said that, I must say that they have infiltrated into the no-war zone and they are carrying out activities irrespective of humanitarian grounds that they are talking of. They are talking of the humanitarian aspects, and they are pleading against with the rest of the world to look at it sympathetically on the basis of their humanitarian activities. But instead of humanitarian activities, they are using these 20 kilometers to foster their and then to advance their war activities. Namely, I must say that yesterday's situation where they used some missiles against 212 the helicopters. 2 helicopters were subject to these attacks, but the pilots were efficient and effective enough to get away from that and get into the safe areas.
4 LTTE secondary leaders have been killed. They died in confrontations at around 5:30 this morning. The battle raged at Iranapalai in Pudukkottai. Military spokesman Brigadier Udayananayakkara said more than 30 terrorists have been killed. Intercepted LTT communication confirmed that middle-order leaders such as Vardhanan, Kadal, Suryan and Ilavan were among the dead. Heavy fighting is raging between the security forces and the LTT terrorists in Pudumatalan. Our representative Callum Gunatilaka, giving more information from the location, pointed out that operations are in progress north of Pudukkottai under the guidance of the 55th Division commanded by Brigadier Prasanna Silva, the 553rd Brigade headed by Colonel Mahinda Veerasurya, the 6th Sri Lanka Light Infantry Regiment of Major Manava Yahampath with the supervision of Colonel Deepal Pusalla. The forces are steadily approaching the 4th Earth Band of the LTTE. Troops expect attacks from sea tigers from the Chalai coastal belt. Meanwhile, the troops are engaged in military exercises to successfully unleash their operations. The 1st Mechanized Infantry Force has been supporting the light infantry regiments in the operations to capture Chundikulam and Chalai. Armoured cars used firepower to the maximum. It is believed that it would not take much long to liberate the innocent people in the grip of the terrorists. The war heroes have liberated the Sivinagar Tamil Vidyalaya in Pudukkottai, utilized by the LTTE for terrorist operations. Our representative Anura Dorakumbura, reporting from Pudukkottai, said the 9th Gamun Watch under the 582nd Brigade, guided by the 58th Division of Brigadier Shavendra Silva, captured the school. It is located north of Pudukkottai on the Pudukkottai-Mullathil Road. Heavy fighting raged before overrunning the school. The terrorists had used the entire school as an operation center. The terrorists started attacking troops from their bunkers as they stepped into the school premises. The LTT strategy was to attack the troops when they started crossing this stretch. Aware of their tactics, the troops entered the school strategically. Our representative was unable to bring all visuals due to ongoing fighting. A building was gutted by fire after being attacked by the LTTE. The weapons used by the terrorists had been banned under the international law. Chairs and desks had been thrown out. A child said the LTTE snatched their books. The Indian Congress reports it will not extend any support to LTT terrorism. Congress General Secretary Rahul Gandhi said he was not particularly fond of the LTTE. Addressing newsmen, he said he was not fond of the LTTE as they killed his father and former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. The LTTE is a terrorist outfit. Mr. Gandhi underlined that India should give maximum support to liberate the civilians in the grip of the terrorists. On more local stories, Russia pledges support to all initiatives taken by Sri Lanka to counter terrorism. Russia's Ambassador Vladimir Mikhailov, in a special interview with the Asian Tribune website, said Sri Lanka is no threat to international security. There shouldn't be any nagging concerns to the UN Security Council on the Sri Lankan affairs, which are largely internal. It is up to the Sri Lankan government to decide what equipment and support is needed. The Russian leader added that Russia is willing to help. Bangladesh, a very close friend of Sri Lanka, commemorates her 38th independence. High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Mahbub-uz-Zaman, said the country today commemorated the event with pride, further consolidating relations with Asian countries.
We have joint mechanisms among the two countries. We should activate and meet frequently and on a regular basis. I am sure that increased connectivity will be essential for the promotion of trade. It will be my constant endeavor as the High Commissioner of Bangladesh to promote air link between the two countries, and I am sure that this will help increase the volume of trade between the two countries.
Minister Maithripala Sirisena has observed that it is the aim of the Freedom Alliance to undertake a disciplined election campaign at the Western provincial polls. The minister said that the importance of the victory that could be achieved in the elections will depend on the honour and discipline with which the campaigning will be conducted. The highest honour that can be bestowed on the President and the United People's Freedom Alliance would be to launch a disciplined election campaign. The minister was addressing party activists of 5 electoral divisions in the Western Province. The meeting was held in Mount Lavinia at the invitation of Minister Professor G.L. Pires. Future election plans were broached. Ministers Susil Premjayant, Nimal Siripala de Silva, Anura Priyadarshana, Mahindayapa Abeyvardhana, Jeevan Kumar Thunga, Gamini Lokuge, Mano Vijayaratna, and P. Dayaratna and SLFP electoral organizers were present. We take a look at foreign news now. The outgoing Malaysian Prime Minister has called for the main ruling party to come to its senses and reform to fight its plunging popularity. U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton says U.S. must take part of the blame for drug-related violence in Mexico. Speaking on arrival in Mexico, she said America's appetite for drugs and its inability to stop arms crossing the border were helping fuel the violence. Before we end, a look back at our top stories. Prabhakaran is cornered to a square kilometre. 4 secondary terrorist leaders are killed. Amidst heavy fighting in Pudumathalan, troops take control of the Pudukkottai Tamil School. Rahul Gandhi is not prepared to pardon the LTTE. Russia is geared to give weapons to Sri Lanka and also support in routing the LTTE. And overseas, Najib Razak is Malaysia's new Prime Minister. With that, we conclude tonight's ITN English News Bulletin. Thank you for watching. Take care. Good night.